Long ago, before Israel crowned kings, before Saul held a scepter or David played his harp in royal courts, the land was led by judges, men and women called by God to deliver, protect, and guide his people through storms of disobedience and war. Among them was a man named Abdon, son of Hillel, of the tribe of Ephraim. Abdon's story, brief in the scriptures, unfolds like the quiet of a peaceful dawn after a long night of war. His name means servant, and for 8 years he served Israel not with the blade of battle, but with the balm of stability. He lived in Pirathon, a town nestled in the hill country of Ephraim. It was a region known for its vineyards, olive trees, and high ridges that looked out over Israel's central lands. From here, Abdon ruled, judging the people with wisdom and equity. He came after a series of turbulent judges after times of great oppression, like the cruel rule of the Ammonites and the hard years following Jephthah's tragic vow. But in Abdon's day there is no record of war. No great enemy is named. No cries of national distress rise from the text. Instead, what we see is the image of a man who maintained peace, administered justice, and raised a large family. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons, 70 descendants in all, and they rode on 70 donkeys, a symbol of wealth, status, and unity. Donkeys were not war horses. They were animals of peace, symbols of prosperity in ancient Israel. To see 70 sons and grandsons traveling the land on their own donkeys spoke of harmony, not chaos, of administration, not anarchy. One can imagine Abdon sitting beneath the shade of a fig tree, hearing disputes brought by farmers, shepherds, and merchants. He may have settled land disagreements, judged between quarreling neighbors, or overseen the fair distribution of resources. The people likely gathered at the gates of Pirathon, knowing they would find justice in the words of this seasoned leader. While other judges gained fame for their exploits in battle, like Gideon with his 300 men or Samson with his supernatural strength, Abdon's greatness came through governance. He was not flashy but faithful. He was not heroic in arms but steady in leadership. He ruled during a season when the land breathed easier. And in a time when Israel often forgot God during prosperity, Abdon maintained reverence. Perhaps his success in raising such a vast family came from instilling values of righteousness, generosity, and order. The mention of his children, so numerous and secure, speaks not only of material wealth, but also of generational influence. When his time came to die, Abdon was buried in the land he loved, in Pirathon, in the hill country of the Amalekites, territory that had once been hostile but now was at rest under his care. Though his story spans only a few verses in Judges 12 verses 13 to 15, the silence speaks loudly. For sometimes the truest measure of a man is not in the battles he fights, but in the peace he preserves. Abdon's legacy whispers through the ages that faithful service, wise judgment, and quiet leadership are treasures in the sight of God. That even in the smallest verses of Scripture we find the echoes of lives well lived. He was a judge, a father, a peacemaker, and for 8 years a servant of Israel.